this is even more damage if they get the mana. Right. That is a guy entering as well. So we can create another 2/2, which then gets doubled by your Railway. Alright, looks like they got 86 mana. Alright. Keep it going, bro. Keep it going. Yeah. What is this? 118,000? Yeah. That'll do it. That'll probably do it. Dude, it stopped. It can't go any higher than that. No, they can't go higher. If it kept doubling, I think it was like 3 or 4 times. Let's say it was 4 more times on those 3 creatures that swung. So they double a billion, goes to 2 billion, 4 billion, 8 billion. So 8 times 3, 24. So 24 billion we would have got hit for. Yo, alright guys, this is going to be a faster intro than usual. The deck looks a little insane, but give me 1 second. So initially when I made this deck, I didn't have access to a few things. Notably, I didn't have as much hexproof as I think I needed for keeping our main guys alive. We didn't have any ways of dealing with artifacts and enchantments, so we sprinkled in some Haywire Mites. We didn't have any card draw, so we're doing Hollowmurk Siege. So, okay, as far as the Snakeskin Veils, right, you gotta play these. Very important, very important. You gotta do your Agonasaur Rexos, because that's indestructible, kind of protecting your guy. 2 counters, never hurt anybody. You gotta have your Haywire Mites, because yeah, dude. Now, you also don't have that much reach or flying, which is why we have 3 Railway Brawlers. Not really, but people do forget. I even forgot that reach was on this guy, so that's very important, actually. And this is just tremendous value you'll see if he gets to sit there and get tested. You also have a Wildborn Preserver with some reach, which is kind of nice. And we do have some Pawpatch formations if you're doing best of 3 with some other good little sprinks, which I'll get into in a second. So what's the main build around here? What are we actually doing, man? Well, we're doing Warden of the Grave. Warden of the Grave, if uncontested, is a lot of value. You're right, like this is a reason to centralize your strategy around counters. Even if this guy just sits there and you have Hollowmurk on the field, you're just drawing a card every end step, right? And then every time you lay a creature, you're doing this is only a once per turn thing, so that's like worst case scenario if all you get is 1 counter here. But yeah, like this is going to make a lot of spirits to compensate for not as many creatures as typical, right? This is a fabulous card. It really is. It has so much highness. Ceiling? It has a high ceiling. Now, there's a cool interaction with Come Back Wrong. Destroying something, you bring it back. That's a non-token creature entering under your control. So you'll trigger your Grove and make another spirit while, of course, destroying something. So I think this is the best use case besides like Aristocrat decks for this that I've found personally. So pretty good. We have like a Maelstrom Pulse here because that never hurt anybody. We have 1 cut down on the removal thing, and we have 1 Malamet Battle Glyph because this can put a counter if that creature enters that turn. It can be like your spirit, it can be anything, and that's pretty good because like we want counters in this deck, right? Your Pawpatch Recruits can be sort of blanket counters, right? Blanket protection, because when they target one of your guys, you can put a counter on something else. And typically you're going to save your Snakeskins for your Grove, and you're going to feel really good about that, as well as your Agonasaurs. Now this is also just a 8/8 Trampler, so if you can put counters on this guy, you're feeling pretty damn good. If this guy enters when you have a Railway Brawler, you are doing some serious damage. Seriously, dude. So that's pretty cool. There's some new cards like Host of the Hereafter, which actually is really good, dude. Like, it'll enter as a 4/4. Then when it dies, it's like put 2 counters on something else. So a 4/4 that puts 2 counters when it dies is actually pretty good. Not only that, being that it interacts very nicely with things like Ozolith the Shattered Spire, you could, get more and more value with both of these instances of it putting counters, right? You have your Innkeeper's Talents as passive ways of doing that. Wowzers, Bowsers. Feels pretty good about that. Or it feels pretty good. The way those interact is exactly how you want it to. You also can draw a card when this guy dies on their turn with your Hollowmurk Siege, right? For example, that's pretty cool. Your Stalwart Successor is going to put an extra counter every instance of putting a counter as long as it's the first time. The Menace is actually kind of relevant here too. You have Menace here on your Null Priest of Oblivion. very good way of getting stuff back from the bin. And that lifelink actually offsets your Mosswood Dreadknight a little bit because you lose kind of a lot of life as you recast this guy. And every time you recast this guy, you get your Warden of the Grove triggered. And you're feeling good about putting counters on this guy because he's a 3-2 trample to start. So you're like, yeah, dude. Ozoni also has Menace. Imagine a lane as an Ozoni after you have a Railway Brawler on the field. You get a 10-9 and a potential 4-3 spiders. If you can, collect evidence forwards is not hard. So that's pretty cool. We snuck in a Sheoldred for a little bit of life gainer Rooney, so we don't instantly die. Gix Command helps with that lifelink as well as getting important pieces back if our groves die. And you can clear the way if you're against like a token deck. Everything about this is great. We love Gix Command in this house. Putting 2 counters in lifelink on an Agonasaur feels pretty good, right? For example. So yeah, this is putting counters. This is putting counters. This, right? You have your Pawpatch, incidentally, even your fight spell, right? You have your Placid. You have your Snakeskin, the cycle ability of this, and your Railway Brawler just sitting there. There's a lot more than it may look like at first glance. We snuck in a Glissa because Glissa is kick-ass. Why wouldn't we? Another way of dealing with enchantments. If Haywire Mike can't do that. Yeah. We sprinkled in a Infestation Sage because this can block twice, and that's really its only purpose. It is another instance of flying, so you can throw that in front of a flyer. Maybe a Deep Cavern Bat. Feel pretty good about that. It is also just a 1-mana way of, triggering Warden because we don't have that many 1-drops besides these 3 cards here. 1 cut down, I already talked about that, and that is kind of how it ends up shaking bacon. Hollowmurk Siege is really good. I think 2 is the magic number. You don't need to draw like a huge amount of cards in this deck because you're just trying to be like consistent, like slap down the guy, slap down the guy, slap down the guy. We're not trying to ramp too much. Ozoni is like a, if you flood, this would be a good card to play if you get it. But typically you can, surveil it to the graveyard, not care. Maybe you bring it back with a Gix Command. That's kind of cool. Or grab it back. Maybe you Null Priest of Obliv it back. Feel pretty good about that. So yeah, you're just trying to have 2 or 3 big guys survive the removal onslaught. Most of them have Trample or Menace, and you're just connecting for serious damage, dude. That's pretty much it. Now, the sideboard, we have a couple Dreams and Steel of Oils when we're against artifact decks mostly, like Simulacrum Synthesizer, but also you can hit creatures. Very good. 3 Duresses because, yeah, you always got to have, 2 Duresses at least in your sideboard, I would say. Snakeskin Veil because, yeah, dude, a 4th would not hurt anything. When you're really important to keep your Warden of the Grove alive. And they're just playing heavy removal. So, Pawpatch formation. More enchantment interaction, but also destroying flyers, because getting all damage reach. But also drawing, which is important to compensate. Everything about this really helps us. And also that food token gaining a little life is relevant. Because again, you will take a lot of incidental damage from Mosswood and your Glissa, right? You lose life there in that instance. And, it takes a little second for you to actually start pumping out spirit tokens and stuff, so you could take a few early combat swings, so that life could be relevant, is what I'm saying. You have your Wildborns for when you need more reach, and for when maybe you sideboard out some other ways of putting counters. I was surprised that I only have a 1 Innkeeper's Talent. I'm pretty surprised by that. There's a lot of cards you kind of got to fit in, so you actually have mid-game oomph, and I think the 1-drops that we have are cool. You don't need to be playing Infestation Sage. You can do another cut down. You can do 2 more cut downs, right? You don't have to be playing Placid, but I think Placid actually really is good, especially with the Vigilance. You can just put a bunch of counters on this guy, incidentally, over the course of a game. Then you have a 5/5 Vigilance, and that's kind of great, right? I don't know. So, yeah. Okay. You also have 3 more Maelstrom Pulses, because sometimes this is crazy. If they're doing a token deck where they make a whole bunch of the same tokens and just wipe them all out, great. I always bring up this example, but maybe you take out 2 Caretaker's Talents, 2 Urbras's Forge, and you feel great. You take out a Temporary Lockdown with this, even though they want more than 1. Maybe they have 2 Deep Cavern Bats on the field. 2 Deep Cavern Bats for the price of 1 card. Getting removed is great. You love to see it. So everything about this is cool, man. It hits anything, right? And it is... No, I thought it was Exile for 1 second. I guess I'm stupid. And Viv Varan is more artifact, enchantment, and flying stuff. And you also have a really good +1, right? We just know that this is good. And if we didn't have enough trample, we could get trample with an emblem. Mostly the indestructible. And the vigilance is pretty good too. with a little buff, so that never hurt anybody. It's actually not impossible. I've actually ultimated with Vivian more than like probably any other Planeswalker. I don't know why that is. I don't play her that much. At least recently, right? You know, like an actual ultimate, not like one of those cheap like -2 ultimates that some. Anyway, the War of the Spark stuff kind of changed stuff. Anyway, so we're doing it, man. We're making big guys, and it's so great. And holy shit, I did not sleep, so I'm gonna have to go do that. In our mana base, we have a Drannith Ruins for some ways of putting more counters, which is cool. Just one colorless, because you do need to make sure that you don't slow down in this deck from mana, because we're playing 4 Surveils, fixing the top draws. Really good. Yeah, 3 Verges, because that's what I have. Play the 4th one, probably, if you have it. And 3 Restless Colleges, I think 3 is enough. And this is mostly just driving home that closing damage. Say they wipe the board, at least you have this. Maybe you have your Innkeeper's Talent. You put a counter before it goes. Maybe you just flooded crazy and you like... maybe they try to remove it and you get a Pawpatch interaction, right? You do it, you Malamet something and then connect with your Restless, right? It's pretty cool. You know, those counters will be permanent, which is really great. So yeah, everything about Restless is good. And you have your Kishla Village for just to play a new land, man. Surveilling 2 isn't really necessarily when we're playing 4 Underground Mortuaries. So I don't know if you're ever going to do this unless just like you have absolutely nothing better to do. But I thought, why not? I don't think it hurts anything, really. Like, you should have a swamp by the time you lay this, unless it's like your only green, unfortunately, in your opening hand. But sometimes it's okay, like, to just wait a turn, because maybe they just cut down your guy that you immediately lay. And maybe you have a Snakeskin Veil in your thing, so maybe you have 2 greens, whatever. So, yeah, I think it's fine. Lone War Waste. Cool. And then 5 and 6, so a little leaning towards green. Actually, it should be maybe more than that. I don't know. It seems like it should, looking at the deck, but that's how it ended up, and it's been feeling pretty good. So, yeah, that's it. I am delirious as hell, so thanks for bearing with me, and I love you guys. Thanks for the support. I actually got like 7 subs overnight or something, which is kind of crazy for me. So thanks for the upward trajectory. Still going, still very, steady and strong, man. So hugely appreciate it. All right, thanks for checking out the gameplay. I'm actually redoing the recording because dogs. It's very fun around this neighborhood where 1 dog barks and then 50 dog barks, and it's just like, wow, dude. All right, I'm losing it. So I think you lead your Placid. We are Placid at the moment, so it makes a lot of sense. I almost said something I probably shouldn't. Alright, so we do this. I think you do choose every time you get the counter, you draw a card. The actual other half, Menace in a counter when you swing, is actually really good too. They're, if you get the second copy of this, you could go for that because they work very well together in multiples, obviously. Yeah. Nisa Resurgent Animiste. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a Tesla guy working on the house right now. You don't have a car that's a Tesla or anything, that's for sure. But the power system or whatever, the electrical here is set up to one of those. So, okay, so you Warden of the Grove. Okay. Jaboomy. No swing. Get the counter, draw a card. Very nice. Very nice. Now, Azoni is actually huge. A Railway Brawler before it is Azoni is actually sick curvature, because it'll double basically the power of everything by putting counters. So you get a 10... 9. You get a 10-9 Menace, which is massive. And you get 4 Power Spiders that also have Menace and Reach. The Reach is actually very relevant because we don't have that much ways of dealing with flyers. Wow, they have a lot of mana now. And they're playing the Ozolith. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now we have to destroy that Kami. I think. I think. But at the same time, like, they have 2 cards in hand. One's a Mosswood. Let's actually plot. So we're going to plot this. We're not going to swing. Because I think we'll have a pretty explosive... especially if we get an untapped mana here. That can be huge. Huge. Well, that Mosswood's gonna be the thing, ain't it? That's gonna be the thing. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, mostly it's just the Mosswood we're worried about. Oh, I should have removed it. Oh my golly jeepers, I should have removed such a thing. Sorry. Slap this down. Right. Right. We should have put the counters with the Innkeeper. But no, we're going to plot the other guy. Now, yeah, create the 2/2. 2/2 gets doubled. Draw the card. Okay, not untapped. We kind of have to do this. We just have to. This is a problem, but so is this. Is even more damage if they get the mana. Right. That is a guy entering as well. So we can create another 2/2, which then gets doubled by your Railway. That's an untapped mana for a zoning. We're going to keep that, actually. No swing. Now it's the end step. We can put a counter. We don't get a swing with that. That's mostly just for triggering this. It's a removal that also triggers this, which is really good. And also, if you happen to target something that has a death trigger, like if you're against a certain deck that has that, you can, you know, take advantage of it. It's a card that for like sacrifice, aristocrat type of stuff too. Yeah, it's mostly a sideboard card though. That's a lot of damage. We might have this though here. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my golly. What does this do? Oh, you just put them onto the battlefield. That's right. 7 counters on the next thing, and then every creature can fight our dudes on the last mode. So, we gotta win kind of fast here. Not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Actually, there's a world where we do this, I think. I think we do that. Nice little absorption. I don't know if the spirit was quite necessary, but we kind of want this guy to die too. Well, we might not even do it this turn. So that was actually kind of pretty dang dumb of me. I think you just have to get his zoning down, right? Yeah, because look at this. Shibumi. 3/3. That'll double, become a 6/6. Draw a card. Beautiful. Oh, we can do that. Perfect. I forgot we actually had to have those. So, perfect. And now we get these spiders, which will double. We can't sacrifice those, but we're going to chill. We're going to chill. Warden of the Grove, absolutely putting in that value, baby. Oh my god. So they're going to try to kill us here. Yeah, we should have kept that Placid. That was stupid, but maybe we survived with 1 health. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see here. You know, if the dogs weren't barking, if this Tesla guy wasn't here fixing the battery supply or electrical whatever, dude, I don't even friggin' know, bro. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. Oh my god, that is a lot of value with your Ozolith sitting there, indeed. Oh no, yes, the friggin' this, Wait, did they just draw that? Why wouldn't... Did they have that in their hand? I don't even remember. Because if they did, then they're pretty goobery, right? Pretty goobery. Something tells me they might get the dub here. Something tells me. What is this? 13,000? Alright, looks like they got 86 mana. Alright. Keep it going, bro. Keep it going. Yeah. What is this? 118,000? Yeah. That'll do it. That'll probably do it. Yeah. Something tells me they're going to probably win this one. Yeah. I just have a little sneaky suspicion they're probably going to win this. Yeah, that's a lot of trample damage there. What is this? 8 million, I think. Yeah, 25 million. 77 million. Something like that. I don't even know. That's a bill. Alright. Is this going higher? Did it stop? Dude, it stopped. It can't go any higher than that. No, they can't go higher. Dude, that is so funny, dude. They can't even go higher, and he's just still doing it. He's got one more. He's got one more. Oh, man. Alrighty. Let's see what our life total goes to. Dude, it's It's like broken. Oh my god, like that's the highest number. That is the highest number. So that I've never seen that actually. There's usually people quit and stuff, but I just sat here. So that's 107. Oh my god, so there's no way. So yeah, it's a bill. So it's just straight up a bill. Wait, is it 10 bill? Am I? No, it's a bill and 73 million. Wow, a bill and 73 million. Holy guacamole, that was crazy. All right, well, we'll put it in the video. All right, let's get an actual dub though. Yeah, thanks for watching this far, but let's get an actual dub. You gotta see that we had some stuff going on. I think I did a couple things wrong there, to be honest, but next time. All right, so after getting hit for 1 billion plus damage, let's yeah, it was like it stopped doubling, and if it kept doubling, I think it was like 3 or 4 times. Let's say it was 4 more times on those 3 creatures that swung. So they double 1 billion, goes to 2 billion, 4 billion, 8 billion. So 8 times 3, 24. So 24 billion we would have got hit for. This is a card that exists. Something tells me to keep that. Something tells me. Because I kind of like the idea of just like, they're playing mono black, right? So let's get some small guys down while we can. Let's do this though. I don't want to walk right into a removal when we could draw a card and force them to have an awkward turn there. Yeah, so we would have walked right into the Agana, so that's kind of right. The Ozone. Ozone is kind of far away. Great card. But we say goodbye. This, because it has 1 extra power, which could matter depending on... Liliana is either going to destroy this, go to 2, or +1, go to 5, and then if we hit her, she'll be at 2, so if she -2s the next turn, then she'll kill herself. Genius strats. But she's gonna go for the discard. Yes, yes, yes. We can get rid of Placid, because we can take advantage of it being in the bin to do its ability. I kind of like Placid here. Placid's kind of cool. So, I think what we do. We could. Let's do this. Let's do exactly that. So we do that. We swingle Pringle. Our guy's gonna die, but we're gonna feel darn good about it. Now the question is, do we want to just put another counter just for another counter? So we're just gonna do one to her. I think not, but it is tempting. Kind of nice because this guy dies, so we can start drawing more cards. We do want to get Glissa down. I was kind of waiting for one more mana and we can put a double spell. We'll probably just get Glissa down though, because that's first strike, death touch, which will stop this. But the Liliana is still existing, so we're gonna end up whoa. Whoops. We're gonna end up wasting that. So I think you Offspring here. Gives us two guys. What was just? Oh, we had to do that turn. That's right. That's a mistake. Okay, cool. So they're targeting that guy, so we're gonna keep him alive. Excellent. Which is relevant. They go for the discard.
Drop it.
Wow. Part of me thinks come back wrong. Like, we got to see come back wrong do this thing. We don't have the Warden. So now we have the Warden. So I think you get this down. Okay. Because I think we let them do it. I mean, actually, we're going to get rid of Glissa because they might ultimate, and this could be relevant. I have a feeling if we get unlucky with the mana, like we could start Restless Cottaging if they don't ultimates. We probably should have swung with everybody, and we probably just lay this next turn. This has the lifelink though, which could matter for going a little bit longer here. We'll get rid of this. That was probably a mistake to not swing, but they didn't end up ultimating, so I think it ended up being a move here. So let's do this, right? Because this will put a counter. Put counter. Oh my god, I thought it was on him for a second. That's Flash Boy. Guess I'm losing my mind, apparently, which is lovely. So we are just going to cast this. Just cast it. I was going to maybe wait for mana, but nah, 2 mana, that's crazy. I'm crazy. Crazy, yeah. Let's create a 1/1 here. So, you kind of gotta... No, you don't, actually, because it's like, what do they -2? Like, who cares? This has Menace, so this is good. Yeah, the it's even better than Glissa, I think, in this situation. Oh my god. Yeah, let's yeah. No, let's not reveal our sick plan quite yet. Okay. Swing here. Swing here. I think there's rhyme and reason there, because I was gonna say they probably do that. Why did I swing with this? It's all part of my strat. What I thought was they'd surely try to block their Liliana. It seems to be their only like win con at the time. Here, let's create a 2/2. The more the merrier. All right, these guys are getting bigger, so I'm playing like a doofus. But yeah. Oh, yeah. I find that a little surprising. I feel like they would have double blocked that guy.
Haven't you ever
We wouldn't
heard
have,
of personal space?
What? We wouldn't have damaged their Lily. And they would have got rid of the lifelink guy, which I think is a problem for him. Lifelink Menace guy is probably a problem for him. Let's draw a card. Gimme! Gimme. Okay. Do this while we have both of our guys, right? So let's put a counter on Dreadknight. Let's go big on this guy. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Yeah. We could swing with both of these guys to ensure that we kill Liliana. Just low-key the play. Maybe. But also it might not be. Yeah, we're not going to. It's just like these guys are getting out of control. So even just casting this Haywire Mine next turn, right? Huge value, so I think we don't overcommit here. Slasher's not a threat. We got enough creatures. We're gonna be pumping out these tokens. Oh god. Oh god, I just got my no, so it ain't so. Oh my golly jeepers. Red 5 actual. Interesting name there, bud. Interesting. Dude, that nightmare? Hopeless. Oh, that nightmare has no hope. Alright. That's, yeah. Oh, yeah, we can't even hit that. Yeah, goodbye. We'll just kill this. That makes sense. Right. Alright, we'll trample over. Get rid of the Preacher. Our Wardens are still intact. Value. Home Skillet be dead. Cast it. More counters. So all we need is one of these big guys. Or a mana off the top for Restless as well. Plus one of these small guys. We should have it. I mean, they have one card in their hand, and they have a Ruthless Negotiation. So you can see, like, if the Warden's gonna sit there forever, it's tremendous value. It's like really, really hard to beat. Interesting matchup though. Like that was one that we should win. Especially getting their Banner talent like so late like that and stuff too. So that was all right. That was a good little showcase. Like the Dreadknight's really important. This can start buffing up our spirits. Like you lay this guy, you make a big spirit, then you can put more counters on it if you want. The decision to get this over the Glissa might have been a really good decision, I think. So there's cool stuff. You got just enough removal, some artifact enchantment stuff, hexproof stuff, right? You can reanimate Zoni with a couple different cards. There's a lot going on. It's a fun deck to play. I like Warden of the Grove a lot. It's a really good card, fun to build around. So that was kind of it then, I think. So I'm gonna have to go take a nap after I probably edit this, get this uploading at the very least. Might post it tomorrow. But thank you for your support. Hope you have a great day. See you in the next video. Standard rocks, even though it's a little crazy right now, I would say. Man, if Up the Beanstalk wasn't in the format, dude, because the mono red's not that scary. Because then you just like have answers for small guys. Because the second best decks was like, is it prowess, mice, right? Gruul and red mice, and then the pixies. Did I say that twice? No, I didn't. So there's like 3 decks that are just a bunch of small guys. But the thing is, like, once you go against that Beanstalk deck, if you've built decks to hit those other 3, all of a sudden the Beanstalk deck is going to destroy you in value if the game goes long. So that, I don't know. The Omniscience combo, did a deck tech a few things ago. Pretty good, but also very, like, you know, in the best of 3, it could get countered pretty hard with, like, Rest of Peace, Leyline of the Boar, there's a few different ways. Ghost Vacuum, right? So, like, stuff like that. So, anyway, much love, you guys. I'm rambling. Peace.